Welcome back. We are here coming to you live from Griff's Billiards in Las Vegas. This is day 3 of the WPA Players Championship qualifiers. On our feature table, we've got Gary Lutman, who happens to be the manager of Griff's here in Las Vegas, versus Vang Bui, who we will refer to as Vang. She's representing Vietnam. Both players laid on a good leg. It looks as though Gary will take break number 1. This is a race to 5. As are all matches in this qualifier. They're all single elimination. We're playing 9-ball with the 1 on the spot, the 9 in the middle, an alternating break format. So the winner of this match will go on to the next round, and the loser will have one more opportunity tomorrow to qualify for stage 2 of the WPA Players Championship, which starts on Tuesday. Stage 2 is limited to 64 players, 48 of which have already been selected by the WPA and country member federations. The other 16 spots will be filled from these 4 qualifying events. We're taking four players from each day. Mr. Lutman's getting ready to take apart rack number 1 here.
Yeah, it's an intriguing matchup, this one. 2 lady players have entered the qualifiers and they can both play. There's no doubt about it.
Gary's got a pretty hard break right there. Controlled the cue ball well, but didn't pocket anything. So we got a chance to see Vang yesterday on the live stream, and she is a force to be reckoned with, especially with a jump cue. My goodness, that girl can jump. She also comes from a 3-cushion billiard background.
She's from Vietnam.
I do believe so. That's what I was told, yes. So Vang plays a pretty good safe here. Gary's going to 2-rail kick out of this corner. Makes great contact on the 1 ball, sticks the cue ball in place, and in return has left a safe for Vang Bui. So as I was just talking about a moment ago, Vang and the jump stick, her second shot of this match. We're going to get to see what she can do with it. Will she be aggressive, or will she play for a safe here?
She's looked at the potting angle, but she's got to be careful of the scratch in the side. If she hits it too thin, it's going close.
You called it, sir. You did call it. She did pocket the ball. It played off of the 9 ball, which I don't believe she was intending, but unfortunately she did scratch. Giving ball in hand to Gary. He can elect to attempt to run out. He could also put her in a really bad spot and possibly put her on her second foul. We do have a 3-foul rule in effect. If you foul 3 consecutive times in a row, it is a loss of game.
Tricky little shot he's got here. Obviously,
I think he just changed his mind.
Yeah, it's because of where that 3 is, isn't it? It's very. Not only is it tricky to get on the 3, if you do get on the 3, how do you get on the 4?
Yeah, that's a good call there. It's tough to pocket this and gain position on the 4 ball. Maybe he'll play a stop shot and freeze her behind the 7 ball.
Possibly. he's worried about potting the 3 in the side. That might be like the, you know, the correct angle. He's hit this all wrong. He needs some help here.
So Gary overruns his safety play by a few feet here. Vang doesn't have anything too aggressive on offer yet. Safety's a little tricky too. 4-ball makes it tough to get the cue ball out of there.
She needs this 3 to run on, which it does.
I think Gary can see just the edge of it. Might be able to thin it and tuck the cue ball back behind the 8. Just like that. I think it may have come just a little bit short.
Yeah, it was a good effort. Never easy to judge them. Well, I'm wondering if the 3 goes in the side. If it doesn't, she's got a good safety on here.
Duck in behind the 9.
She needs the cue ball to bounce. I don't know if she put. No, she's held her hand up, so she didn't play it. And she is on the 4, so it's worked out pretty good. She's a very measured player, always looks at the angles and gives everything 100%.
Yeah, we saw her win a hill-hill match yesterday over Konrad Pekarski from Poland. Konrad had the lead the whole match going into the end of that match. She was able to tie it up at 4 apiece, and she played a great 3-9 carom for the win.
In the recent World Pool Masters in Gibraltar, Han Yu only just edged out by the great Shane Van Boon in 7-6. So there's a lot of lady players around the world that can definitely play this game. And I think as time goes on, you're probably going to get more ladies entering the men's events. Maybe we should have a mixed tour, because I don't believe there's anything else that exists in the sporting world like that.
Are women welcome to play on any of the tours? They're not exclusive to men. I know women have their own tours.
Yeah, they can play in the events, but what I mean is maybe we should actually have a mixed tour.
Oh, and I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, like
no,
actually make it mixed.
Yeah, that, you might be onto something there.
Well, at least it's unique then, isn't it? What other sports are out there? Obviously, ladies' tennis is separate to men's. The golf is.
Yeah, everything seems.
Football.
Baseball, basketball, no, softball, basketball. Yeah, it's all separate. That would be really neat to have a.
But not only that,
like a co-league, or a co-tour.
Well, there's lady players who can definitely compete.
Oh yes, absolutely. Especially some of these Asian females that we've seen on the scene lately. It's incredible.
The other lady player, do we know her name? Do you know her name?
I saw it spelled out. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it.
I've not seen her in here today, though, actually.
I haven't seen her today either.
But I watched probably 20 minutes of a match yesterday, and she was a monster, honestly. It's unbelievable, Cuist.
Yeah, I watched a few minutes of one of her matches as well, and she very much reminded me of Siming Chen.
Yeah, she's obviously from Taiwan, so she's knocking around with all the Taiwanese. All the Taiwanese come in a big, they've got like a big coach or bus, whatever it is you call it in America. You call it a coach or a bus?
Bus.
Oh, you say bus, do you?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so when I was leaving yesterday, I seen the bus outside. There was about 15 Taiwanese and she were with them. I'm not sure why she's not in here today. Maybe she's played and won, and maybe she's getting some food. We'll try and find that out, but she can definitely play.
We nearly had another golden break. Vang opted to shoot a cut break there. Successfully pocketed a ball. And I believe she's got a shot on the 1. I think the 6 ball may be a little bit of an issue, but I don't know if we're going to make it to the 6 ball in this rack. The 3-9 looks pretty juicy.
Now she's eyeing up the rail there, so that tells us she's not got the potting angle. So all of a sudden this...
Perhaps the edge of the 7 ball has her slightly hooked.
Yeah, all of a sudden this becomes obviously a lot harder. She's got to hit this quite thin. Nearly got there. That was close.
I think Gary's going to take full advantage of this opportunity here. She needs to do.
2 ball in the side.
Oh, it's a little trickier than I thought.
Yeah, it's a lot tighter, so it's one of them where you'd love to... There's kind of like a perfect spot where you need to land. But obviously he's drawing this back, so there's no guarantee on landing perfect on this. This will bounce off. Only Gary will know, because he's right behind the shot. The only good thing is, if he can pot this ball, the cue ball will bounce out, because it's quite thin. And it was that thin, he's missed it, but he has had a real nice roll there. Because I don't even think he was on the 3.
Yeah, he would have had to go rail first, I believe, to attempt that 3-9 combo had he pocketed the 2. I don't even know if there's a 1 rail escape there. That's what she's looking at. I can't tell if the cue ball is too close to the 7 to make it between the 7 and the 4.
I think where she put her fingers is the only part of the rail she can hit, so she's going to have to really juice this up with loads of right hand side. So this is always
pace is key here too.
Yeah,
hit it kind of soft.
It's a big target though. If she
hits
it, she makes it.
Wow.
What a shot.
Fantastic shot.
She played a Karen like this on day 1, you know.
She won.
To win the match, I remember.
She did the same thing yesterday to win that match against Conrad.
That might be the match I'm thinking.
Conrad Pekarsky. It was the 9 ball in the opposite
that was
lower left corner pocket. Almost the same shot. And she was down that whole match, and she never gave up. Get a good look at those new Cyclop Hyperion pool balls right there. She plays the billiard.
She's got all the shots, this lady. Don't worry about that.
So early statement there from Vang, taking a 2-0 lead. Gary Lutman's going to be breaking off in rack number 3. Folks, we are coming to you live from Griff's Billiards here in Las Vegas, the host of this awesome event. Also, I'd like to give some honorable mention to How Tips, Predator Cues, the Rio Hotel and Casino, CueSports International, Master Billiard Chalk, Diamond Billiard Products, and the Andy 998 Cloth. as well as CueSports International and the WPA themselves. Wing ball came a little high on that break. Nothing falls down. Oh, take that back.
Hold your horses.
Last ball running. Gary pockets the ball and takes 3 across the head string. It was absolutely a legal break. He's got a good starting shot on the 1 ball here. This is a dream layout.
Yeah, you'll be happy to see that 3 ball disappear.
And these are laid out very nicely. He has virtually no work to do to get from the 4 to the 5. He's got options for both lower corners. That's a break you'd like to duplicate over and over again. He can come to either side of this 5. He played the more natural, easier path. Draw this ball back about 2 feet. There we go. So Gary looking good here in rack number 3.
Just having a quick look around the room. Practice table in the corner. Chang Yulong practicing with Yang Chinchun. Taiwanese, big practicers. Don't really see anybody else in here having a practice. The Taiwanese are.
All right, nice break and run there by Gary Lutman. Good timing for him too. Gets a beat up on the board. Vang will be breaking off here in rack number 4. This is a race to 5 alternating break format. Single elimination.
As expected, on day 3, the field is starting to get a little bit easier. 6 Asian players qualified and 2 Americans. So
Still got a couple of those heavy hitter Asians left too, though. Expect to see the
Fuche Wei, but he
more
played
of those.
terrible yesterday on the TV table, so he'll be looking to. He's got to step his game up. Jeffrey De Luna, he's currently playing. He's lost in 2 hot seat matches.
He has. Last night was a brutal one.
Oh yeah, he should have won.
He had the opportunity in the last 2 racks.
4-2 up, 4-2 up, and 2 sort of gimme racks, wasn't there? Yeah, I'm sure his fans weren't best pleased. Johan Chua, I believe he's still in. So there's 4 or 5 big hitters still.
Johan was in a big action match last night up here against Mitch Ellerman. They did, I won't disclose the dollar amount, but they played best 2 out of 3 races to 9. Johan was giving Mitch 3 games on the wire. Playing, I believe it was 10 ball. Mitch ended up winning, I believe, in the first 2 sets. It's a very big spot to give.
That is a big spot.
To give to Mitch.
So the safety works out well.
Gary's going to have to thread the cue ball through some traffic here. So yeah, Gary's got some thinking to do. So yeah, that was a pretty good safety there by Vang.
I like the fact he's taking his time and having a good look, rather than just getting down and whacking it.
It's the right side of this ball. He might get fortunate and pocket the 8. Unfortunately, he didn't hit any side of the ball. So Vang's going to have ball in hand here. Six ball's a bit of a problem. Can't tell if it goes to the lower left or not. If it does, it's not too much of an issue, but if it doesn't go, there's going to need to be some crafty positional play. Like you touched on earlier, she's very deliberate. She looks at all the angles. A lot of players would just get up and start firing, but she's planning before she starts firing.
So it clearly didn't go. So she's tried to bump it out straight away. The only problem with doing that, she was obviously leaving herself long on the blue too.
The fact that she broke those balls out so early in the rack tells me that she's confident in herself in running the rack out, which is a good sign for her.
Yeah, she said she knew she was going to leave herself long, so she clearly didn't mind. Probably didn't. She's had half a result because she's not really hampered with these balls. There were 3 balls down here, so you could have been hampered, but she's not. She cues a mean ball.
She does.
I'm not so sure she's going to be able to reach this. Obviously, she's a right-handed player. Let's have a look. She'll be stretching, yeah.
She's got to make sure not to brush the 7, 9, or 6 ball with her clothing or any of her hair. I do believe we are playing all ball fouls.
Tricky little shot, extension on the cue, makes it super long.
Is that a gold extension?
Oh, I'm just going to say it looks a jazzy extension, doesn't it?
Wow.
It's got jewels in it or something. It's worth about 20,000 there in the back of the cue. She don't really miss balls, this girl, I tell you. Another tester here, though. Sacrificed position a little bit because she was concentrating fully on the pot. Can always cause problems when you're queuing off the rail, especially into the side. You've got to be more accurate.
It's a bit of an acute angle.
So much so, she's had a little look at the corner, but that is a brave shot to take on.
I don't see the reward in playing the corner versus
I'll tell you
the
what,
side.
that's a phenomenal shot, you know.
Goodness.
That is unbelievable. Kind of wanted to clear the table now after these couple of nice shots she's played. I can see her qualifying
No kidding.
in these next 2 days, I'm
Yeah,
telling you.
we took a look yesterday to see if she was signed up for the U.S. Open. She wasn't on the list of the 256, but we wondered if maybe that had something to do with her being out here as well.
I'd like to know if she's won any big lady events.
We got a little bit of information on her yesterday, and she had finished. She had finished well in one event. It wasn't a major event, and I can't remember what it was. I'll try to find my notes here. But she's newer to pool, to rotational pool. She comes from a 3-cushion background.
Right.
Which is a bit ironic with as much as she jumps the ball. She's got to be extremely familiar with the rails and the way they play, coming from a 3-cushion billiard background. But she is really quick to grab her jump cue.
This is a real horrible shot she's got here. Because I think she's got to hit it hard to try and get on the 7 in the same pocket as the 6. Oh, she's unbelievable.
What was that, Carl?
She hits the ball as good as anybody in the room.
Yeah,
She's played some phenomenal shots in this rack. She's timing the ball to perfection. I was thinking about getting my cue out, but I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll sit right here. And it's a big rack as well. Unbelievable.
The more I watch her, the more I like her. She shows zero emotion, too. I haven't seen one facial expression from her in 3 days.
She's gaining a couple of fans here.
Yeah. I take that back. Between matches, she's all smiles. She's walking around with a big old smile on her face. But when she's at the table, she's showing nothing. Except what she's capable of.
That was a phenomenal run out of that. Some of the shots she played there. 4-ball in the corner. It was a great shot.
She takes a 3-1 lead over Gary Lutman. Gary's gonna
go and swill his face in the sink, thinking, have I just seen things?
Wash his hands and take a moment here. I suppose while they're doing that, we could give a shout out and thank you to our sponsors once again. We're coming to you live from Griff's Billiards here in Las Vegas. This event is sponsored by How Tips, Predator Cues, Master Chalk, the Rio Hotel and Casino, CueSports International, Diamond Billiard Products, Cyclop Pool Balls, Andy Billiard Cloth, and of course the WPA. This is day 3 of 4 days of qualifiers. Top 4 players from each day make it into stage 2, which starts on Tuesday. That event has $50,000 added dollars and is limited to 64 players, 48 of which have already been selected by the WPA and country member federations.
And not only is this not just a big event because it's the WPA Players Championship, so it's a great title to win. It's obviously leading up to one of the biggest tournaments of the year, the US Open 9-Ball Championships, and there's 3 or 4 players still in these stage 1 qualifiers yet to qualify that are in the US Open 9-Ball. And if you don't qualify and you've got to sit around for a week and just practice, just practicing on your own and not practicing against the best players in the world, you know, because if you go deep in this Players Championships, win it, runner-up, even semi-finals, possibly quarter-finals, you've had some great match practice there against the world's best. Exactly. So you're going to take that forward into the US Open.
Exactly.
If you don't qualify here now, like somebody like Jeffrey DeLuna or Johan Chua, it's almost like, well...
Makes it a whole lot tougher.
Yeah, it just has a different emphasis on
the players that did qualify or did play in the WPA Championships may have a slight advantage over those that didn't qualify when it comes to the US Open. But we are back. Gary Lutman is getting ready to break off here in rack number 5, trailing by a scoreline of 3-1.
And he knows he's in a match. If he's not seen Vang play the last couple of days, he will know after that last rack she can hold a pool cue. And it's a dry break, and the 1 ball's coming round, the 2 balls sat there. This is connect the dots time.
Gary's second dry break. He was able to run out on the break where he pocketed a ball. So he just needs to get his opportunities at the table. And Vang doesn't want to give them to him. I think she can just pocket this ball and draw the cue ball back about a 1.5 or 2. Just make sure she clears the 9.
This kind of shot, though, when you're screwing back into an area and you can't play off a couple of rails, it's always a little bit harder because you know you've got to stop the cue ball bang in the area, so you've not got much margin for error. That looks pretty good, though. I think she can just stun this to 2 rails, go in between
The 7 and the 9.
the 7 and the 9, yep. She kind of put a cue as if she were going to draw it, but the problem with a draw shot is it's going to be like arcing a little bit, and I feel like it's going to come off the rail towards the 5-9. First sign of weakness or mistake there. Didn't quite like the shot selection. Caused a mistake.
Gary with an opportunity here. Easy pocket on the 3 ball, but get in position on the 4. Got to think about it a little bit with that 8 there. I'd like to avoid the 8 if at all possible. Did so nicely.
You would expect him to spin this cue ball round off 3.
I think he's going to kill it. Play the 5 to the lower right.
Not a bad effort, just he'd have loved another couple of rolls on the cue ball there. Now we call this a blind pocket shot, where the pocket's not in your eye line. So they can be missed, these. That's why he's coming round there. Giving it a good look at the line he needs to take. And he's got to avoid the 9 on the side. There you see, blind pocket, fires it into the rail.
Gary's not too happy with himself. Those that don't know Gary, he's a very good player. He's a phenomenal bank pool player as well. Guy banks the balls as well as most people. Better than most, I should say.
Just a couple of signs here where she's kind of lost her way a little bit. That was, I felt too thin to hold for the 6. I feel like she should have been going off a couple of rails there.
With inside?
Inside, or maybe go up through the gap, you know, and bounce it off the top rail, because the 6 goes in the same pocket as the 5. It's sort of whatever, but it kind of just looked really thin to roll it, didn't it?
She did the same thing yesterday against Conrad on an 8 ball, and almost identical, same exact result. Left it hanging in the jaws. So I'm kind of surprised that she did the same thing today.
He needs this to slow down, because the 9 balls there, it's just about all right.
Gary with a chance to get within 1 here. It will be Vang's break next. He may end up playing the 8 in the same pocket. Yep.
And he's needed a couple of chances in this rack. Cue ball lands on the rail, and if it's dead straight, he's not going to have the best of 9 balls. And you can see from his expressions,
he does not like it.
It is straight. Anywhere but straight, and he was fine. And he still might be fine, but look at the 9 ball he's left here, because he landed straight on the rail. he's missed an easier ball than this already in this rack. I won't be hitting this too hard. It's just kind of like, yeah, play it with a bit of top. Nice pace, centre pocket.
Good shot.
Yeah, very good shot. Played it nice. Played it the correct way, didn't he?
He needed that too, for the scoreline and for his confidence. So Vang's going to get ready to break apart rack number 6. She's leading by a score of 3-2.
So, after clearing the table with a fantastic run out, she's missed a couple of good chances there.
We'll see if she goes with that cut break again or if she opts to break head on.
Don't forget, if you want to have a look at the draw, have a look at results coming in, follow your favourite player, you can go to www.ctsondemand.com. That's real weak, and I do think it's illegal, you know. But will Gary know? Because she's only made one bottle, she's told him, very sporting.
Wow.
Not many pool players do
Wow.
that, let me tell you.
That was incredible. We haven't seen that yet. She pocketed a ball, but she didn't get two balls or more past the head string.
Yeah, I mean, someone wants to go and tell them, really.
She's explaining. Yeah, they're discussing right now. There's a little bit of a language barrier between
Just if anybody's watching and they're not familiar with this ruling, we're playing WPA rules. 3 points you have to score on the break shot. You get a point for potting a ball and a point for a ball passing the head string. So she's made a ball and only one ball. You don't have to land in the kitchen. It just has to pass the string. So the one ball has passed. So she's only made 2. So it's loss of turn.
So Gary has the option, and he has opted to put her back in. That was very, very awesome of her to not only realize it, but to call that mistake on herself. It says a lot about her character. She goes for the extreme back cut. Comes up quite a bit short on it.
Unusual this, because she's played some unbelievable shots to go 3-1 up, and the last rack and a bit has gone real scrappy for her. She's just started to throw her arm at it a little bit.
Well, pocketing the 3 here is nothing difficult, but getting some position on the 4 is a different story.
You might see him duck for cover here behind that 9 ball. Send the 4 ball round table. He doesn't, yeah, he's we're not sure what he's doing at the minute. He's making his mind up.
He might have an angle to pocket this. I can't tell if he can see all of it or not. If not, like you said though, there's definitely a safety opportunity on offer.
It's one of them type of shots when you're playing safe. You've got to strike the cue ball with authority, but get it to slow down upon impact. Otherwise, the cue ball can fly out and the 4 ball can fly around the table and come back down. So timing's key on this shot.
He did okay there. He's going to leave it exposed, but there's distance to travel, and
He didn't quite get it how he wanted, and he has left a pot on here. She has made some good shots, but the last 4 or 5 shots have been a little bit weak. And it's a big shot, isn't it? Because it's 3-2.
if she gets out here, she will be on the hill. She's elevating. Surprised to see this. That increases the difficulty of this shot quite a bit. Not for her.
She just needs to play every difficult shot.
Oh my gosh.
She's jacked up and speared it straight in the heart of the pocket.
She's done it more than once.
I know. It's these easy ones she don't like. Every difficult shot she makes.
I'm very impressed with this young lady.
Again, a pretty good effort there to get the cue ball over on this side, and that kind of works, doesn't it? As long as she can reach it.
Looks like she gave a little wave after that shot. I'm not sure what she was acknowledging to Gary. Maybe the nudge on the 8-ball, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's at full stretch here, though. Oh, that's a
Undercut it
shame.
just a little bit.
I did think it were going to fall in, though, but it's because, you know, the table's had a lot of play now. You can't cheat that shot now, can you?
Not like we could on day one.
So Gary has got these 4 balls to tie the match up, and Vang has played some exhibition pool. It's been a funny little game, really. It's been a match where Vang could have easily closed it out for the win, but she's just throwing the odd silly mistake in to let Gary back in. Whenever the ball's tight in the pocket, can always cause issues, but he has to be delighted with the outcome there.
Yeah, he did very well on that 6-ball.
I don't believe he played under the 7. And these 2 balls, we've got game on.
We are all tied up at 3 racks apiece. Gary's going to be breaking here in rack number 7. Been struggling a little bit with his break so far this match. He has had a break and run, but he's also had a couple of dry breaks. So let's see if he makes any adjustments or does anything any differently this time. See that Predator BK Rush he's breaking with. Predator, one of our sponsors. Thank you to them. Cyclop pool balls. Andy Billiard cloth. Diamond Billiard products. It's a beautiful setup we have here.
Important rack for both players now. Both players have made some mistakes, so you'd kind of love to get on the hill first. Balls fell in. Wasn't the best of breaks or splits, but they've turned out lovely. They really have.
Do you play the 2-ball in the same pocket as the 1-ball, Carl? You had so many options there, I guess.
Yeah,
it was
it's kind of
just all
personal.
personal.
Yeah, personal preference, I suppose.
I don't want to start finishing your sentences.
I can see what you mean, topping it through and then coming out. every shot's easy sat here. Wow. That's one thing you need to cut out your game. Any players out there, he moved his full body and everything before impact, and that's what caused him to miss that 4-ball.
See what she does here. I don't know if she'll be aggressive or if she'll opt to play a safety. She's giving it a good look here.
Don't blame her for ducking there. It was very thin. And she's made a good job of that.
Yeah, she did pretty well there.
There's a wall of 3 balls, so if you look parallel from the cue ball to the 4, you can see them 3 balls make that a big target.
Let's see if he spins around it here, or I don't think he can navigate between the two. So he's going to have to put a little bit of swerve on this ball. Go rail first, kick the back of the 4, I do believe. Oh, he could. Wow.
He needs it
He
to
could see
slow
the edge of
down
it.
though. It might be all right. There is a long bank on. Yeah, if you look at the top players around the world, you know, the guys who've won tournaments and had success on TV, they're all very good cueists. They stay still. Tried to use them line of balls that we spoke about before, but overhit it, and she's left Gary an opportunity now. This is key shot here though. There's loads of movement going on here. You've got to stay still on your shots. That is rule number 1.
So back-to-back overcuts there from, well, I shouldn't say back-to-back, but on pocketing attempts, back-to-back overcuts from Mr. Lutman.
Now the pot is very thin, so cue ball will be going back and forth, so this is not easy to judge, especially where these 4 balls are. There you go, she's hit the 7, she's hit the 9, she's left herself jacked up. That was always going to be the problem. This is not easy, but as we've seen in the last 30 minutes, she'll just jack up and spare this clean in the heart of the pocket.
Yep, she's made the difficult ones look fairly easy. See, she's elevated here, cueing down on it with some draw.
Just get me out of this room
Carl.
fast.
Carl.
She's a farce at these shots, I'm telling you.
This is a lot of
She's
fun to
made
watch.
every difficult shot. Honest to God.
Just elevated, jacked up, and speared it in. Not once, not twice, every time it happens.
Honestly. I think Vang just needs a little bit of coaching off somebody. And just to tighten up the safety game, and I do believe she could be one of the top weighty players.
I'm in agreement with you. Tighten up the safety play a little bit, and obviously we know she can pocket balls.
Oh yeah, she's
But she's in funky positions that she puts herself in sometimes. She gets out of them quite often. But if she can get her cue ball on a little bit more of a string, as we call it.
I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
She's made another brutal shot.
I guess it's.
Honest to God.
I guess you don't need to play position when you play this well.
No, but it's the way she played it. She made it a big wide angle, and she knew she had to play it pocket speed to stay on the 7. There's just a couple of little things, that's all. Not major things. I mean, I don't know how old she is. She could be about 16. big shot here though as well. She's very good at pocketing the ball, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She got a little bit of a brush on that 8 ball too. Just nudged it about half an inch into a better line. I'm curious as to how old she may be. Let's see if we can find out. Just giving this a good study before she rolls it in. I think she can just roll it in naturally. She doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. She did very nice there.
Unbelievable effort, this. It really is. Four to three.
She is on the hill and breaking.
I'm going to just leave you for a second because I need a bathroom break myself.
Take your time, pal. All right, I guess it's just me and you folks for a moment or two. Got Vang Bui versus Gary Lutman. Xuan representing Vietnam. Gary Lutman happens to be the manager here in Las Vegas of Griff's Billiards. So he's no stranger to this building. This is day 3 of 4 days of qualifiers for the WPA Players Championship. This is stage 1. Stage 2 will start on Tuesday. We've got 48 seeded players, professionals from around the world that have been hand-selected by the WPA and or country member federations. 48 have been selected. That leaves 16 open spots. That's what these 4 qualifiers are for. We're taking 4 players from each day and putting them into the second stage. So far we've had 8 qualifiers. 6 have been Asian. 2 are from the USA. By the end of today, we'll have 4 more. We'll see if Vang opts to go with the cut break or if she goes with the head-on break. Welcome back, Carl.
9 ball.
Oh my.
I've come back with a golden. No.
And look at the lead.
Wow.
And it's an illegal break.
Yes, did he know though?
She didn't. Well, yeah, she didn't pocket a ball, and 2 didn't cross the head string. I wonder if she knows.
Yeah, she was probably looking at the 9, weren't she? Thinking, oh, I've won it. It fell in. Very fortunate to not leave any edge on the 1. Where was he pushing here?
I don't think he was looking for a push at the moment. I think he was eyeballing the hero shot.
No. That ain't no hero shot. That's complete madness. Surely you put your 9 ball there, no?
You would think so.
Try and get cue ball over towards left pocket area.
Is he looking at maybe kicking the back of it and trying to take the cue ball down into the 9? That's a tall order. I don't like that shot.
It's very attacking, put it that way.
And it's completely covered. He can't see an edge on either side.
I want him to have a go at it now. I see he's looking at this top rail. That is... Surely he's not going to go off the top rail and try and hit that 1 ball full. I would think the obvious shot is to pop the 9 and just get the cue ball over towards the left side of the table. But
He can't make up his mind.
maybe he doesn't know he can push out. He must know, because it's just, yeah, he must know he can push out. Just like that was
Game set.
Yeah, it was madness, that, I'm afraid. I'm wondering if he just thought he couldn't push out. I don't know why, because whether it's illegal or dry, you can push out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure he knows he can push out. I think he was just really hoping for a good result there on the 9. He just didn't want to let her back to the table. I think personally I would have pocketed the 9.
Yeah, I mean, you're just selling out there.
Just
I mean,
push out.
She's qualified for the next round anyway, because this is just 1, 2, and there you see the 3 ball.
Gary's not looking too happy over there. I feel for you, buddy.
Yeah, I think that was just pushing the boat out a little bit too far, that shot selection. Where's the cue ball? Where's the cue ball gone here? Can't see because of her
Half
head.
a diamond above the side. Ooh, it came real close, didn't it?
Yeah, that was heart in mouth stuff, that. That would have been, I mean, she could have been anywhere, just anywhere, just nowhere near the middle. But she advances into the next round. Some amazing shots she's played in that match, to be fair. Well done. We will be back in 5 minutes for the 4 p.m. match.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back shortly.